And well, hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. And as I predicted, we have today the chapter for One Piece 845 of its name, the Enraged Army. So, pretty much, I'm guessing that retaliation will happen to Luffy, maybe because of what he did to Cracker. So let us move on. So, cover page request Nami getting pampered by five little kittens. Osaka Perfect Tune, PN Wild Strawberry Aqua. And here is Nami casually sitting beneath a parasol and eating and drinking while these poor little kittens are working their little asses off. So I'm really looking forward for the next cover story. These covers are cool, but I prefer the cover stories. Anyway, let us move on. The typical fan arts, and here we are. Okay, so Luffy and Nami apparently are where we left them. After what just took place, will bridges be burned? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You're not seriously just going to wait here, are you? You're right smack in the middle of enemy grounds. Yeah, he's kind of after the whole commotion and everything. After he sent Cracker flying, staying there is really the last thing they should be doing. Remember what Pound told us about people who've managed to beat a commander in the past. Big Mom sends in her enraged army along with her deadly storm to finish them off. If you stay out in the open like the enemies might, but Sanji, okay, he's nearly crying, I believe, but he's not actually crying. Sanji will come. I'm gonna wait here. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, so it's starting. The storm clouds are starting to form. On that mountain lies the whole cake chateau where Mama resides. Mama is infuriated. You don't mean to tell me how can a single human possess this kind of power? Lilin is a woman with the ability to control and manipulate the weather. Once she crosses that line, there's absolutely nothing and anyone that can do to quell her rage. Okay, so before we move on, this is obviously the power of those things, Zeus and Prometheus, and they are most unlikely homies. So, or instruments. So, and says the woman that can like summon lightning and create rain clouds and sort of things like that, and mess with the winds with a single knotted rope. This is just a matter of scale. And okay, so okay, yeah, as I said, Lord Prometheus and Lord Zeus are wreaking havoc. So yeah, we have this little cloud. This little cloud has appeared before in the chapters where we first see Big Mom, where she's singing with all the homies, and later when she's enraged through town, when she's like in that King Kong like scene, this cloud with the hat is there, and this flame thing Zeus is probably the sun that also appears with her in that same scene. We are the army that shall avenge Lord Cracker. Clear the way, the enraged army is coming through. Oh, okay, so the Big Mom's army is starting to advance. Well, look what we have here. They're going to hunt and kill that straw hat that Moran said he was going to wait for you at that spot. Ooh. So here we are. Big Mom's crew going full on for battle. They're not getting out of this alive. Thrifty Bobbin, Demon Lady Amant, Mondor the Scribe. I can even count high enough to add up all the bounties of all the heavyweights here. Okay, so let us take a little while before we move on to actually analyze this picture. So, Thrifty Bobbin, we know Bobbin already. We've seen Bobbin before back in Fishman Island when Luffy actually challenged Big Mom through the Dendemushi. So we've seen Bobbin before. Mondor was presented to us officially by name and that in the 2 chapters ago, but he appeared in the beginning of the saga when Muscat was killed by Big Mom. This demon lady Amant, I believe it's the lady with the big ass sword and the big ass hat, she appeared in the same chapter as Big Mom was introduced to us with that song. She appeared in one of the islands collecting one of the ingredients. So I believe she's also. I believe that these, because in the front row we have Bobbin, we have Mondor, we have Amant, we have this lady with the black fluffy coat, which is also a daughter of Big Mom, and we have Charlotte Opera, the jelly minister, I guess. Is it jelly minister? I know Mondor is the cheese minister, and this lady here is the butter minister, and I think this guy is the jelly minister. So I believe that this demon lady Amant is also one of Big Mom's daughters. The problem is, it's not only them. We have all kinds of people here. We have normal soldiers. We have snake neck people. We have other guys that look like Opera. Maybe they are their brothers or maybe even sons, because if Chiffon and Beji have already a son, why not Opera as well? If he's older than Chiffon, then he most likely has sons and daughters of his own already. And Jesus, the army goes on because far off in the distance we can't see who they are, but we see little black dots that indicate most than likely more members of the Big Mom army. Jesus! And by what Yonji says, they are all heavyweights. They are all strong people. Even Mondor has a bounty. I was not expecting that. And Sanji is starting to get worried. Yeah, I'm not budging an inch from this spot. Well, I'm sure even he's not idiotic enough to stay put after seeing an army like that. Yeah. Rain. Okay, no, this is Mizuhame. Okay, so this is not rain exactly. It apparently is a candy. It's a Japanese candy, but Mizu means, of course, water, and Ame means rain. So is it raining? Is the rain sweet in that case? Apparently so. Luffy's not even eating that. Jesus, that's how determined he is. Oh, and look at Nami's face. Oh, come on, don't make the field train come back again, please. 2 weeks in a row were more than enough. Okay, so now we're going to the fun part. The tea party between Big Mom and Purin and the Gurma 66. You would be happy, wouldn't you, you old hag? God damn it. We had some minor issues, but everything will be fine now. Seriously though, I've heard so much about you. A cook for Pudding's groom, that's just perfect. Well, not, yeah, at least she's straightforward with it, Jesus. Not that it really makes much difference. The main purpose for this marriage is to cement our alliance in stone. As long as you and I are on the same page, Judge, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. I couldn't have said it better myself. However, I shall simply add that the lasting happiness of our children comes first and foremost. Yeah, right, you go. Freaking Judge, as if you'd care for your son's happiness. I wish all the best for tomorrow's ceremony. I guarantee it shall be a day that none of us forgets. Okay, I knew it. There is something. Judge is planning something. He is planning something. if not by himself, with someone else. This sentence here pretty much sums it up. The way that it's written, with the bold letters, with the shape of the, I just know it. There's something going to happen in the marriage that it's no simple marriage. So it's not a simple marriage. Maybe he will try to overthrow Big Mom. I don't know, because he wants military power to take on the North Blue. But a small point that I think even a man like Judge should consider: who guarantees to him that Big Mom will just say, "Hey, here, have an army and go take over the North Blue" or something? I just don't think that Big Mom works like that. I think she expects to receive things. As far as giving back, I don't really think. I think she's one of those people that you give me stuff and I give you the honor of being part of my family, or else I'll kill you. I think she's the kind of person that would do something like that. Okay, so two little tea things just come singing black tea, green tea. Oh, Jesus. Everything in this island is animated. It's just weird. Even that cakes. It reminds me of Sausage Party. That movie is so stupid, but still, it reminds me of that. Oh God, I don't want to. I don't want to think about it really. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, it's really. Oh God. Oh God, the memories. Even the pancakes are alive, and the honey. Oh God. How about you guys pipe down for me? Oh God. Excessively, what excessively loud food. How am I to please your taste? This is just like Sausage Party. Oh God. Ooh. Purin passed the note to Sanji. We need to talk in private later. Talk, you say. Heavens, no good, no good. Please, all I'm asking you is that you hide. You won't be breaking any promise if you move a tiny bit away from this place. Not a chance. If Sanji shows up, he'll think I left. You guys can do it if you want. Luffy, I'm begging you, do not underestimate whose territory you're in. That's right. We've located Straw Hat Luffy. You stand zero chance of taking down an army of that side. I already made my promises, so I'm staying right here. Okay. So she's right. She's right. One of the things that I really want to Luffy to finally get in his head. This is the new world. I know many characters have said this before. We are well way into the new world already, but Luffy still thinks that he can just wipe everyone's butts and just be done with it. In this saga, already in the first 45 chapters, Luffy has already taken more damage than probably in Dressrosa in the final chapters. He fought against Cracker, which is, if not the strongest, one of the strongest members of the Big Mom Pirates. So that to boot, their fight lasted nearly half a day, 11 hours if I'm not mistaken. So, and now he's facing with an army of only God knows how many people that army has, and not weak people exactly. Yonji said heavyweights of the Big Mom Pirates. Luffy really needs to get his act together. It's all fun and games when you make a promise with your friend, but that promise ain't worth jack shit if you dead. So I don't know. I have an idea on what may happen because Luffy, Nami, Chopper, Carrot, Pedro, and Brook on their own won't be able to stand this. I'll talk a little bit about that in the end of the chapter, but let us see if my theory has any reasoning of being. Okay. So now Pudding is apologizing for not being able to get to Luffy and the others in time. Um, Okay, sorry for being a little bit silent. I'm just trying to. Yeah, she's speaking about the wrists and the handcuffs that Sanji has. Yeah, Jesus, he's showing the face. Yeah, yeah, he's telling her the truth about his family. Yeah. Oh God. That's the thing. We all knew that why he was doing this. He's now just explaining this to her. If I try to resist this marriage, all my friends, everyone I hold dear, will suffer the consequences. To make matters worse, the man I consider my father, who happens to reside in East Blue, is also at risk. They're just looking for an excuse to pounce on that savior of mine, too. I've carefully weighed my options, but there's no place for me to run. That's why I've decided to quit struggling and just go with the flow. In exchange, I wanted Big Mom to let my friends off her hook, but instead of that, at this very moment, they are all trying to find and destroy them. So yeah. Oh, poor Pudding. She's don't feel sorry. It's not your fault. It's your degenerate mother's fault. Until 13 years ago, I lived in pure hell. I've returned to that hell now, but during those 13 years I was away, I was greeted with a lifestyle that allowed me to be incredible happy. Everyone I meet during that time, they're all my saviors, but my only wish is to disappear from all their lives without hurting a single one of them. It's just like Robin. Jesus. It's the same situation. She was willing to die for them, but now he's willing to marry for them. My adventure must come to an end here. Oh, I won't let this marriage of ours turn into the kind of that kind of hell for you. Oh, oh, poor Pudding. But she wants to marry though. Oh my God, he's already fighting. Holy Jesus. I mean, I just met you, and there's no way I'd be able to fill the big hole in your rock. Oh, okay. We are seeing battle scenes, but Purin is still fighting. Oh God, so Luffy's just fighting against the low-life soldiers. You've never even uttered a single word about us marrying, but here I am just assuming that. Oh! Monsieur Von Smoke Sanji, where are you getting those little paws at? You are my only savior right now. If you really don't mind it being me, then tomorrow let's do it. Let's get married. Savior or promise, which will he choose? Is his adventure really going to an end here? And of course, there's a break next week. There had to be a break next week. We can't have an early chapter without a break next week. Oh God, that's really the only thing I can say is oh God. Uh, First of all, Luffy is deep in a lot of trouble. Like way deep, like past waist deep. He's facing off against Big Mom's army on his own. Foot soldiers, fine. But the army is not just foot soldiers. It's compiled of Big Mom's sons, daughters, probably even grandsons and granddaughters. So My idea is, you know that you remember the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, right? All the 7 captains of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet have a Vivre card, a piece of the Vivre card. The Vivre card reacts to the user's health and sort of lifespan by slowly burning. What if, by chance, one of the commanders actually manages to come to Luffy's aid? Either that, or better yet, a future possible commander or member of the crew which is already in Totland. Yes, I'm talking about everyone's favorite, at least I know I like Jinbei, but not really my favorite character. I'm talking, of course, about the Knight of the Sea, Jinbei himself. Jinbei is with his crew around Totland. I actually think that Aladdin and the remaining of the crew have saved Peckham's from when he was thrown out of the abyss by Capone. So we are possibly looking at an army of fishmen just waltzing in Big Mom's territory alongside with Peckham's to help in Luffy's fight. Now, why did I say future commander or future crew member? I actually think that Jinbei is going to enter the crew and Aladdin is going to be the 8th Fleet commander. So I think that Jinbei's crew will become the next Straw Hat Grand Fleet division. I think it's a pretty possible idea to happen. Jinbei being a crew member and Aladdin being the commander of the division. Not something official, but you know, being allied to them, the remaining of the crew being allied to them through Jinbei's entering the crew. I would like as well to see one of the commanders appear, because I had an idea when Dressrosa ended that in future sagas we would see in each one of them the growth of one of the commanders. So, for instance, when we get to Elbaf, I believe that Aryuddin will be there. So that's one saga. When we get to Wano, I believe that Cavendish may appear, and we will see the creation of yet another division, the Samurai Division, but that's a topic for later. And then in other sagas, Bartolomeo, Leo, Orlumbus, Sai, the remaining guys would also appear. But I don't know. Now that I think of it, the idea of Jinbei and Aladdin appear is much more plausible. But Jesus, this chapter was intense as well. Luffy's already going gear second and haki on these guys, and he's just pummeling them. He's defending his post to the utmost last minute. And I really, because time is running short, the marriage is in the day after, so already Totland is lasting more in terms of days than Dressrosa did. Dressrosa lasted about a day, if so. Totland is already going for its 3rd day, because there was the day when Luffy and the others arrived at the first island of Totland. Then they spent the night on the sea while the sea was frozen. Then the next day, so making the 2nd day, they arrived at the forest. And this is just from what we see. We don't know if it took exactly 1 night to get from the first island to the main island. Then it was the day he spent fighting against Cracker. And then the other day, which is the present day, it's when he defeated Cracker and then gone to Sanji to talk. The talk we've seen in the last chapters. And now it's going on to the 4th chapter, and Sanji is already all ready for marriage. I just don't know. I've been thinking about something. Let me see how long this video is. It's 24 minutes long. Bear with me for just 5 more minutes, please. I have been thinking that Purin may not be as pure as we've come to believe. I think that Purin may actually be a little bit of a mean character. Because let's think about it for a second. How many Big Mom daughters have we known so far? And speaking only of the daughters, not of the sons. We've met Brule, which is really the nicest person on earth. There's no nicer person than Brule. We have the Mistress of Butter, which I forgot her name. We have Chiffon, we have Lola, but Lola is expected because Lola never grew in Big Mom's ambience. She never was taught like the other childs are. We have Chiffon, we don't really know much about Chiffon. We have Pralin, but Pralin seems like a good gal as well because she's with Aladdin, she loves Aladdin, and I don't think she could care less about her mother. And then we have Purin. It seems almost too good to be true, because all the anime, we've seen Sanji hitting on ladies all throughout the anime, and they always don't pay him attention. They just feel kind of gross even. Purin is the first lady to actually give Sanji any sort of attention. And so I really think that she's hiding something. I don't think that she's the all nice and pure girl we are seeing. I wouldn't surprised if she has any sort of power, maybe devil fruit power, that actually allows her to control people's minds to a certain extent, or if it's just all an act and she's able to fool people with her kindness, much like Hancock can get away with anything with her beauty. Imagine that, but Purin can get away from anything with her kindness, her lovey-dovey aspect, and things like that. So that's it for me. Next week there won't be a chapter, but don't worry, I'll have a One Piece theory video prepared for this situation. So yeah, I really think that the next chapter 846 will be a very good chapter, and there's a mistake on the chapter's last page. The translation is probably the translation of manga stream. They are entitled to have at least a mistake here and then. God, they are humans. But it's 845, not 854. So yeah, this was a very good chapter. I enjoyed it. It was a fast-paced chapter and a setting up chapter, because from now on we are going to Marriage Day. I don't know how Luffy will manage through it. My first theory for the Marriage Day may actually still come true. One of my theories. I imagine that one of the, maybe Crocker even, would be able to defeat Luffy and just throw him at Sanji's feet during the wedding. That may still happen. But who knows? Maybe they'll actually capture Luffy and lock him up. And they lock him up in the same place that Jinbei may be locked in. Because we don't know, we haven't heard from Jinbei in a long while, so he may be locked up. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait 1 week until we get to see this. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This video took a little longer than expected, but my bragging on kept going for longer than anticipated. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I will see you one of these days with probably theory video. I won't leave you the rest of the days until Monday without a video. Worry not. If not tomorrow, then Friday. I'll have something ready for you. And I say my goodbyes to you. See you in the next video.